Think about it. Think about it. Pre-existing conditions. It's in the news right now. It's been in the news for at least 2 years now since the election. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent. Because I was fed up with the Republicans, fed up with the Democrats. And here's the thing. A lot of things that the Republicans believe in, I vote for because I believe in conservatism. But what gets me is that we live in a country that allowed insurance companies to decide who and who they won't cover. And it took the Affordable Care Act to tell the insurance companies it's the law that you cannot deny a person health insurance based on pre-existing conditions. And now, round 2 of repealing and replacing Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, the pre-existing conditions, from what I'm seeing on all the news outlets, is not in this new plan. And for everyone that got upset with Colin Kaepernick because he kneeled, he wouldn't stand for the national anthem, you should be double more upset that this might pass. For everyone that was upset because they see someone and they don't put their hand over their heart or respect their Pledge of Allegiance, or you should be more upset that we live in a country that will allow people to be denied insurance coverage because of pre-existing conditions. That, to me, is un-American. That's Russia. That's Cuba. That's China. That's living in a dictatorship that says you do what I say and whatever I say is the law. No, this is America. The land of the free, the land of opportunity, where everyone has an equal shot, and we can debate that, an equal chance at success. But healthcare is a universal right where no one should be denied. And I take the quote from that movie John Q that came out years ago, where he said, if you're sick, you should be able to get help. If you're sick, you help. Every doctor should protest and say, I refuse to look at another patient if this pre-existing condition is removed from the law, removed from the Affordable Care Act. I refuse to retreat if this. Then I think Congress and the Senate will take notice that, you know what, you're right. And the one Republican, I think it's 2, that came out and said, you know what, there are people in my state that have pre-existing conditions that this will affect tremendously on a hardship level if this is taken out. And I mean, we have to think about that. Think about that. I mean, let's just take Jimmy Kimmel's son. And I'm sure his video went viral, the plea that he made. What if he wasn't Jimmy Kimmel? What if he was just James Kimmel? He was Robert Kimmel, the factory worker. Robert Kimmel, the store clerk. Robert Kimmel, the customer service agent. Robert Kimmel, the tech support guy. Robert Jane Kimmel, the real estate agent, who has a job, 9 to 5, has insurance, but just found out your son has this pre-existing condition. And the insurance company says, well, we're not going to cover that because it would just cost us too much money to treat. So therefore, you would have to just come out of pocket. Think about that. This is what it was like before, where people got denied treatment. because this is the country that has nothing to do with patriotism, American at its core values. But we lived in a country that did that, and for ages it was okay. But now that it's law that you can't, and now they're going to take that out, I think that's just wrong. I think that's just wrong. It's wrong. Think about that. It's just wrong to deny someone health care because they're sick. And think about your neighbor. I just had a neighbor that just passed away last Saturday from cancer. Thank God she had health insurance, but had she not had health insurance, she could have been denied coverage. Think about that. And her life wouldn't have been prolonged for as long as she lived if it wasn't for the Affordable Care, that clause. And ask me about the Affordable Care Act. As much as it does good, it does bad. If you got a better plan, let's fix the plan, but keep pre-existing conditions in there. If you got a better plan, let's replace it. If you got a better plan, if you don't have a better plan, let's look at it. Let's look at it and let's fix it. Because in 50 states where it's available, it's not all collapsing. In Arizona, it's bad. Florida, it's bad. But there are states where it's actually working. Let's look at the states where it's working and find out why is it working there but not working in Arizona. Why is it not working in Florida? I got a friend who owns a business, and he sat down at the table and he was like, you know what, man? And I went to went online to look at this Affordable Care Act, and he says, I can't afford this. It's too hard. It's too high. And you know, he's a great guy, owns his own business, and he's like, I can't afford it. It's too high. It doesn't work. So for people like my friend, it doesn't work. There is a problem that it needs to be fixed. But we're so, oh my God, we're so partisan because it's a Democrat and because it's a Republican. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to whine and complain about it. But yet the American people keep suffering. I wish Congress and the Senate had a review, just like it is on my job. When I started working tech support at Disney, I had like a 90-day grace period or whatever, to see if I'm going to work out. If it doesn't work out, they're going to try to retrain me. If it doesn't work out to that point, maybe it's not for you. And I really do think that, hey, we need to hold our Congress and our senators, even our governors and our local senators, accountable that, hey, I hired you to do a job. What have you done since I hired you? What have you learned? Why hasn't this got done? Let's review your job after 90 days. And if it's not that, hey, maybe we need to look at somebody else because it's not working. If Congress and the Senate was under that type of pressure that I gotta do something, I guarantee you more things in this country would get done if they felt that their job was on the line. That, hey, if you don't show results, then guess what? We're gonna call you back. You're gonna be fired. We're gonna impeach you because you're not doing the job. This job isn't for you. And you got congressmen and senators that's been in the job for like umpteen years. But think about it. Do we want to live in a country that allows people to be denied because of pre-existing conditions? Children? No, think about that. I was just watching the news the other day, yesterday, matter of fact, where people over in Africa, they are in a drought, and you know, it just rained yesterday here in Florida. It hadn't rained in like over a month. I mean, it rained for about 30 minutes, whatever, in certain places. Some places got just a couple of drops or whatever. But I mean, think about it. That's your neighbor, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your grandmother, your coworker can be denied, or their child can be denied because they have pre-existing conditions. I don't want to live in an America like that. That's not America. That's not America. We should take care of our own. We should give them the option. And it's different if a person doesn't want insurance or whatever. But for the people that do want insurance, come on. And I think I personally mean years ago when health insurance was going up, everyone said, oh, the reason why it's going up is because so many people without insurance are going to the doctors and the hospitals. And this is why your rates are going up, because they have to pass the cost on to the people that are paying. So then we have the Affordable Care Act that says, okay, everybody needs to get insurance so John Q doesn't have to pay for what you are not paying for. And here are what the plan. I believe the concept was a great concept, and if all the pieces are lined up, it should work like basically, what is it, LendingTree.com, where people, they compete for the best mortgages and stuff like that. It was supposed to work that way. We have the best rates. And I think for somewhat that it was sabotaged by some companies because Obama was a Democrat. But you see the same type of thing worked in Massachusetts where Mitt Romney was, because he was a Republican. Again, that partisanship is just ridiculous. But think about it. Look at the person next to you, a friend or a person that your local business that doesn't have gets a check from a job, that they work for a living on their own, their business, small business. These are the people that are affected. I have a 9-to-5 and I get insurance through my job. Walt Disney has good insurance. But what about those people that don't work for Disney, that can't get affordable coverage, that have their own business, like my friend, can't afford it? Think about it. He's going to be denied coverage because he has a pre-existing condition. For John Kimmel, who just had a baby, who had a heart defect, but they won't get coverage because they got a pre-existing condition. Think about it. Something's wrong with that we need to fix. Thank you.